Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on Wednesday, May 27th. Good morning and happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their day. I hope your basketball team won last night. I'm sweating a little bit, and it's because, in case you guys don't know, I start this Twitch stream at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and then we start the pod at 9 a.m. Eastern. So I just talk, I hang out with my community for a little bit. And I've been putting out fires all morning in relation to this game that happened last night. So in case you guys are wondering what we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about Game 5, the most pivotal game of the entire playoffs. Game 5 for the Spurs versus Thunder. Then we're going to be talking about the coach of the year and my honest opinions on the matter. Go over stud of the night, and then I'm going to let y'all go, man. Today's probably going to be the shortest episode of the week. I don't know if we're going to be doing a podcast tomorrow. I would like to just say I got to pick up my fiance from the airport. There's no game tonight. So I don't really want to start my off-season topics right now in the conference final. This just seems too early. I feel like you got to start off-season talk in the middle of the finals where each team has 2 days off. You know what I mean? So I do not believe there will be an episode tomorrow. I'm letting you guys know that right now. I gotta pick up my fiance from the airport, and plus there's no game tonight, so I feel like it's the perfect time. Right now, guys, I don't want to talk your heads off in this intro. I feel like we just got to get right into this pod. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, YouTube, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, all that jazz. And for those of you in the Twitch stream, you guys know y'all have the easiest job in the whole entire world. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, and enjoy the show. All right, ladies and gents, let's get started. So the Oklahoma City Thunder win Game 5, dominate the Spurs, to be honest. They dominated them all game long, and they won 127-114. Aquatic, thank you for the big follow on the Purple app. Let's go ahead and talk about this game, yeah? Let's talk about this game. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way immediately while the TikTok is still cooking up viewers right now. I feel like this is the best time to talk about it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the officiating. All right, I feel like I have to. I'm not going to be the guy who sits up here and talks about officiating and refs and all of that. I'm not going to be that guy. All right, I've never been that guy. I'm not going to have a full conversation about that, but I will mention it just to satisfy that large crowd of people. There were some bad calls on both sides. Both sides. The only one I can truly think of that was like egregiously bad was the goaltending call. They called the goaltending. I forgot who was it. Yeah, it was Casey Wallace. He had his hand over the rim and goaltended a shot. They didn't call it, and then they gave Mitch Johnson a technical foul. Okay. The TikTok is already starting, by the way. The TikTok is already starting with calling the refs garbage and whatnot. Now, overall, I think this has been the most even officiated series of the entire playoffs. You can be mad at me for saying that, and truthfully, I don't care. I talked about this before the podcast started with my Purple app chat, just because people were already talking about it before I even started the show. The Spurs did not lose this game because of poor officiating. My Spurs fans, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and recognize you did not lose this game because of officiating. You lost because of bad play from your main guys. TikTok is saying it's all rigged. I'm going to go ahead and not read those messages over there. If you guys want to talk with me, come through to the Purple app, okay? De'Aaron Fox played horrible. He's laboring. Devin Vassell played horrible. Victor Wembanyama played horrible. 3 of your starters played horrible. You lose the basketball game. Simple as that. You didn't lose because of refs. You didn't lose because of a missed goaltend talk. Yeah, you didn't lose because of that. The officiating has been pretty much split down the middle. Oklahoma has, I believe, like 17 more free throws in the series than the San Antonio Spurs. Do you guys understand 17 free throws? That's normal. That's very normal in a playoff series. You know what's not normal? The Cavaliers having 100 more free throws than the Pistons. I'm a Pistons fan. You guys see the autographed K jerseys behind me. Did the Pistons lose that series because the Cavaliers had 100 more free throws than them? The biggest free throw discrepancy in 22 years? No. They didn't lose because of that. Was I upset in the moment that the was I upset in the moment that the Cavaliers had 100 more free throws than the Pistons? Sure. When you zoom out and you look at that series as a whole, that's not why the Pistons lost. Just like last night. That's not why the Spurs lost. Now, I'm going to finish my topic by I don't want to talk about the officiating. Right? So just to end that topic, the Spurs lost because they played poorly. This has been a neck and neck series as far as bad reffing goes. It has. It hasn't swayed one way for more than 2 minutes. If they do a bad call against Oklahoma, they fix it immediately after. For anybody that says the Spurs lost this game because of reffing, you are not a real person, and I am not going to engage in that conversation. Let's go ahead and talk about this basketball game, because everything that I said yesterday, everything I said a month ago, everything I said 3 months ago, everything I said in my very first podcast last summer has come true. Everything. And let's talk about it. It seems to me that Twitter just found out that the Spurs are not deep like the Oklahoma City Thunder and like the New York Knicks are. Because this morning, when I was scrolling on Twitter, they're all saying the Spurs aren't that deep. Well, that's the biggest problem. They're just not that deep. Gee, it's weird. It's as if I've been saying that all season long. They have a really good team. They do. And they're young. So you guys shouldn't get upset about that. This is your first playoff experience. You guys are playing with house money, baby. You're taking the defending champions to what could be 6 or 7 games in the conference finals. Spurs fans, this was a successful season. This is a very successful season. So regardless of what happens tomorrow night in game 6, regardless whatever happens in game 7, this was a successful season and it's still not over yet. So I don't want you guys to think that like I'm writing your obituary right now. I'm not. But I'm more so trying to help you and prepare you for what's to come if it's going to come. Yeah, y'all have been playing with house money all year, but your biggest issue is lack of depth. When you're up against one of the deepest teams in NBA history, this was always going to be a problem. It was always going to be a problem. Officiating? Yes, sure. You can also say you're up against the defending champions. Are they going to get a couple more of those ticky-tack fouls? Sure. They're the defending champions. They earn that. The amount of discourse that I've seen around the Thunder, it's exhausting. I can't really open Twitter right now. I can't. Because Spurs fans and non-basketball fans who only watch the playoffs are all saying the same thing. The refs. It's just not true. It's not true at all. None of these games have been decided by officiating. It hasn't. Game 1, we remember that game, right? We all remember that game. The overtime win, refs had nothing to do with that. They won by 7 points. Game 2, Thunder won by 9 points. Had nothing to do with it. Game 3, Thunder won by 15. It has nothing to do with officiating. The Spurs won in game 4. They smacked them by 30. Nothing to do with officiating. And then again, they lost by 13. Nothing to do with officiating. Ladies and gentlemen, what you guys need to realize is that the officials only have so much to deal with in this series. They do. When you are talking about pretty much even free throws, you can't have this conversation with me. You can't. I'm not reading the TikTok chat. I'm not going to bother reading what the brain dead idiots over there have to say. If you guys want to talk with me and you want to pretend that you know about basketball, be sure to join the Purple app stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on the Purple app. The link is in my bio or the name is right here. I'm not going to bother reading the TikTok chat because none of them know what they're talking about. Like I said, if you want to talk about a free throw discrepancy, that's 100 free throws. The Cavaliers had 100 more free throws than the Pistons in that series. 100. And I, as a Pistons fan, am not saying that's why the Pistons lost. So for you guys to come in here and you're down 13 and you lost the game, oh, it's the officiating. Those 2 points that they didn't call goaltending. Yeah, that's why we lost. That's not why you lost. If that's why you think you lost, you got a horrible mindset. You do. Bim Bim, thank you for the follow on the Purple app, bro. I appreciate it very much. By the way, I want you guys to just do me a favor, Purple app. Go check out if you guys really want to laugh at the other side of society, go read some of that TikTok chat, bro. Go read some of that. They're all spamming that the NBA is rigged. And there's plenty of different ways to get free throw calls. There are. And when you want to talk free throw calls, look at your superstar. I'm sorry. Shea is getting hacked all game. You know who else is getting hacked? Wemby. He's also getting hacked. And when you look at the box score, Wembanyama had 12 free throws. He would have had 8 points if not for his free throws. 8. You're telling me you think you can win a basketball game when your superstar is shooting 4 for 15? He's gassed. He's gassed. They didn't slow roll his minutes. He went from playing 25 minutes a game to 45. How is he? What person in this planet, especially one that's 7'5", is able to ramp up like that with little to no conditioning? Who? He's gassed. And yes, you can tell me OKC is looking for fouls. You can tell me that. And guess what? They're getting it. They're the defending champion. They are. But I'm not sitting here and saying that the Thunder have the favorable whistle. Maybe by a minuscule because they're defending champions, but that's it. If you are blaming the officiating for that, let's just talk about this real quick. Wemby shot 4 for 15, 0 for 5 from deep. I don't remember him touching the paint all that much. The guy had 6 rebounds. He had 6. He was standing on the 3-point line all game long. I don't know. I don't know what these horrible opinions and horrible takes are that I'm seeing the refs fix this game. Bro, these are 2 of the smallest markets in the NBA. They're 2 of the smallest markets in the NBA. Why would Adam Silver be pulling for either one of these guys? Why would Tony Brothers be pulling up for either one of these guys? They're not. Oklahoma's getting calls. San Antonio are getting calls. Plain and simple. If you disagree, you don't know basketball. You don't. This series is evenly called. Evenly bad, but evenly called. You guys don't know the lick of uneven calls. You don't. My team had 100 less free throws than the Cavaliers. 100. They had 100 less free throws than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's still not why the Pistons lost. So pull up your pants, suck it up. You guys had, 4 less free throws this game? 6. 6 less free throws, and you're telling me that's the reason you lost. I'm sorry. I'm not engaging in that conversation. I'm not. Do the Thunder get some calls that other teams don't? Yes. Do the Spurs get some calls that other teams don't? Yes, they do. And these refs, they both suck. They all suck for both teams. They suck. You can't evenly call this thing, man. You can't. You don't. And you know what? I'm done. We're not talking about fouls anymore. That's it. I talked about it way too long. Jaden, thank you for the follow on the Purple app. I appreciate it. I'm not talking about free throws. Let's talk about the game. I talked way too long about it. I'm not doing this. The Spurs lost this game because they played like ass. The Thunder won this game because they didn't play like ass. Any other topic that you guys are willing to have about officiating and fouls, go watch one of those other podcasts that actually have a dog in this fight. And they'll tell you straight up all your biased takes. TikTok is spamming that my takes are bad. That's your opinion, and I value your opinion. I'm not getting banned today, bro. I'm not. Jaden, thank you so much for the follow on the Purple app. Brando, I appreciate you being in here. Yeah, thank you guys for dropping a follow on the Purple app. I really do appreciate y'all very, very much. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Purple app. Much love. Yeah, guys, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, Purple app streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription. It's my commitment into you. I'm not talking about free throws anymore. Let's talk about the actual game. Julian Champagny had a fire first quarter. I think you guys can remember. He had a fire first quarter. He had 13 points in the first quarter and then 4 points in the second quarter, and then virtually didn't do anything. He wasn't touching the ball anymore, and if he wasn't making them. Victor Wembanyama, he was 4 for 15. I'll talk about Wemby in a bit. Devin Vassell had his worst game of the series. He shot 2 for 11. But you guys want to talk about free throws. De'Aaron Fox shot 4 for 15, but you guys want to talk about free throws. Stephon Castle actually had a pretty good game. He was 7 for 11, 3 for 5 from deep. He kept them in the game, to be honest. Dylan Harper, 1 for 5, and you want to talk about free throws. Keldon Johnson, 7 for 13. His booty was bouncing all over that court, and they played well. Carter Bryant had a really good game, too, off the bench. And, to just continue my conversation about the San Antonio Spurs, I have no dog in this fight, man. I don't. So everything I say is unbiased, right? I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm not a Thunder fan. In fact, I've been rooting for the Spurs to come out of the West all season long, and I'm going to continue to do so. But I have no dog in this fight. I have no biases towards anybody on this court. I don't. So everything I say, you are getting purely unbiased, objective takes. That's what I aspire to bring here. Okay? Even when I talk about my Pistons, it was all objective. When I watched this game, right? First of all, I was watching it with my community, right? I was doing a watch party in my Discord server. If you guys want a part of that, be sure to join the Purple app stream. We've been doing watch parties all playoffs. I appreciate the follow, Tippy. Thanks so much, man. Thank you for the follow on the Purple app, bro. Much love. Spurs got to play better, man. They got to play better. And I talked about it all year long, man. I've talked about it all year long, talking about how young they are, how they have no experience, and that the fact that they've made it this far, I'm not impressed by it. They didn't beat much competition. But the fact that they made it here, this season has been an accomplishment already, and the season's still not done. My whole thing about this team is that I'm going to start with Wemby, okay? Wembanyama is a great player. Sorry, he's tall. There's two archetypes in the playoffs in today's game that don't work. There's two archetypes for centers. It's the tall center whose strength is being tall, and it's the center who's strong, and his strength is strength and out muscling all of his defenders. Wemby's made it this far for being tall. Jalen Duren, you saw him collapse in the playoffs because he's only strong. Those two players, the reason I bring them up is because what you are witnessing right now, and I hate seeing this discourse on Twitter. I hate seeing it. Wemby needs to get a bag. He needs to improve his bag. When all season long, the main thing I've been preaching is that Wemby does not have a singular go-to move. And that's okay. His last season got shut down because of the blood clots. I completely get it. He's young. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need this now. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying Wemby's ass or Duren's ass. Wemby does not have one shred of offensive game. He doesn't. I think he's shooting something like 20% from three in this series. Definitely below 30% in the playoffs. And he's got no bag. If he misses a layup, he tries to put that layup back in. If it's not a dunk, it's an awkward layup. And if he misses that layup, he puts it back in. When you are forcing Wemby to shoot as many threes as he's shooting, Oklahoma City's laughing. Every three that dude is taking, they are praising the heavens. They want him to continue shooting. They want him to continue taking those. Because every shot that Wembanyama is taking at the three-point line, it's a one less shot that he's taking in the paint. So when you are relying on your three-point shot and you don't have a three-point shot, praise be. Praise be. Wemby just doesn't have an offensive bag, and he will develop it. But this right now, what you are watching is Wembanyama's ceiling. And, I don't want to say this because I feel like people are going to think that I'm hating. But when your star player, when your superstar franchise cornerstone is only playing 25 minutes for 82 games in a regular season, and then all of a sudden you ramp him up in the conference finals from 25, 26 minutes, that's literally bench player minutes, just so we're all clear. And then he starts playing 45 minutes in game after game after game with only one day off. What do you expect to happen? He's 7'5". He's got no offensive bag. He's jumping everywhere. His whole job is just jump for a block, jump for a rebound, jump for a dunk, jump for a layup. That's exhausting to go from 25 minutes a game to 45 minutes a game. That's exhausting. This isn't NBA 2K. This isn't NBA Streets Volume 2. I'm Unk, I know. This isn't a video game. You are 7'5", and they ramped your minutes by double. Now, whether that's on coaching or higher up, I think we can all agree on something. They should have ramped Wemby up in preparation for the playoffs. They should have. We all knew they would be in the conference finals against the Thunder. We all knew that. And the fact that you knew what was coming and you still didn't prepare him physically and durability-wise against this team, hey, man, they're playing with house money this season. Why risk our superstar's future health? Well, at some point, you're going to have to risk your superstar's future health. At some point, you're going to have to. They didn't do it this year. So Spurs fans, you can't be upset that it's not happening. You can't be upset. And to blame the officiating when your starters are shooting 4 for 15, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 for 11, 2 for 9 from 3, and 0 for 5 and 4 for 15 from the field. Be real with yourselves, man. Be real. Look in the mirror and say, damn, you know what? Maybe we just played like ass. Maybe we just played like ass. I've been talking too much about the Spurs. Let's go ahead and talk about the team that actually won the game, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They dominated from every aspect of this game. They shot 48% from the field. Spurs shot 40. They shot 44% from 3. The Spurs shot 29%. And they both had 30s in the free throw. They both had, it's crazy. It's crazy. So let's go ahead and talk about the Thunder, right? And you know, Andrew in the TikTok, I see you, bro. And I'm going to just go ahead and get you out of here. I appreciate for your garbage takes in there. Again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, you would enjoy the Purple app stream so much more. The name is right there. I'd love for you guys to come through to the Purple app. Again, like I said, if you watch 3 Purple app streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription. Be sure to swing on in here and join the Discord. I appreciate you guys in the TikTok who are watching and listening right now. Thank you guys. Let's go ahead and talk about let's talk about the Thunder. First of all, Lou Dort has not been playing well this series. I don't know what's wrong with him. He has not been playing well. Like offensively and defensively, Caruso's just been better in every which way. If he's not hitting his threes, there's not a whole lot that you can do, right? There's not a whole lot that you can do. Isaiah Hartenstein last night, again, I feel like this guy's been the MVP this series. He's playing aggressive with Wembanyama. He's not letting him in the paint. And like I said, guys, if you are not allowing a 7'5" alien in the paint, you're typically going to win those games. So thank you for the follow on the Purple app, bro. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. When your main job is to guard Wembanyama, and the fact that you are doing this right now and still being effective both on the glass, but defensively and even offensively, bro, you got 12 points, 15 rebounds. Mind you, 6 of them offensive. I believe this is the 3rd game that Hartenstein has 5+ offensive rebounds. The other guy on the other side of the court, the 7'5" alien, he had 6 rebounds. This guy Hartenstein had as many offensive rebounds as Wembanyama did all game, talking all rebounds. Like, this is absolutely egregious. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. The fact that Hartenstein, and you know what's unbelievable as well? You know what's unbelievable as well? Hartenstein, Karl-Anthony Towns, those kinds of bodies are what play best against Victor Wembanyama right now. I don't think in 10 years it'll be what's best against Wembanyama. But right now, Wemby can't compete with that strength down low. He can't. He's got no bag in the post game. He's got no bag underneath the paint other than just laying it up and dunking. And he can't do anything past 10 feet out. Right now, Wembanyama is the weakest that we're ever going to see him. Seriously. And this is his kryptonite. It's the smaller, stockier, bulkier bigs. Hartenstein's not letting him touch the paint. And if they were ever to make the finals, Karl-Anthony Towns isn't going to let him touch the paint either, although Karl-Anthony Towns does have some bad fouls. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it just real quick, because I saw a comment in the TikTok and I just have to comment on that real quick. Nobody talked about the officiating in game 4. Nobody did. Nobody did. It's only a problem when the Thunder won. I'm not a Thunder fan. I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm a fan of good basketball. And last night, was it good basketball? Not really. Not really, but it wasn't hindered by free throws. It wasn't. And if you guys watch this game, genuinely watch this game, you would understand. Tace, Jason, guys, come through to the Purple app. We'd love to have you guys over here. Like I said, if you watch 3 Purple app streams, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you no longer get ads. If you guys want to watch the games with us, just join our Discord server. But the only way you can do that is if you join the Purple app stream. Guys, the link is in my bio. The name is right here. Gek, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. If this is your 3rd stream in a row, be sure to stick around and I will gift you after the podcast. Okay. The officiating is even, y'all. It's even. Couple bad plays here and there. Now, I'd like to give Chet a major shout out after last night. I would love to give him a major shout out after last night. Chet came into this game looking like the only guy that was ready to play. Chet had 8 points and he was 4 for 4 in the first quarter. And then he had another 4 points in the second quarter. Unfortunately for Chet, that's pretty much all he did for the rest of the night. But he was great on the glass and he's been getting out rebounded almost all series. But he had 11 rebounds and 3 offensive rebounds last night. And he brought 16 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. And he was 6 for 9 from the field. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So shout out Chet. I still want him to have a legendary game, but I just don't think he can do it mentally. I don't think he can do it. Now, if you want to talk to people, right? That's fine for Chet in this series. It is. If you want to talk about box scores, there's been a box score that's been lying about a specific player on this roster all series long. Because according to the box score, if you look at all of his stats, you would think he's been playing like ass, shooting like, 40% from the field, below like 30% from 3, right? But when you watch these basketball games, and that's why watching these games are so important. Because Jared McCain, he shot 7 for 19. He did. And he shot 3 for 9 from 3. And yet Jared McCain was arguably one of the more important players for this Thunder win. The amount of energy he's bringing, like, listen, he's given up buckets on the other end. He's given up buckets. But the fact that the 76ers gave this guy up for free is asinine. It is. In 33 minutes, he was forced to start. He's not a starter. He's not a starter yet, at least. He had a couple dagger threes as well in this game. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 foul, but he shot 7 for 19 from the field and he hit 3 threes. He banged them home. Shout out Philadelphia for giving them Jared McCain. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then while I'm on the topic of Jared McCain, Plumlee and Bismack Biyombo came into the game and started hammering him. I'm not exaggerating either. Plumlee came into the game and straight up like tackled him. Straight up stiff arm. Looked like he was on a D-line. And Jared McCain was like laughing and saying like, dude, what was that? Like, what was that? What was that about? He went up to the free throw line and he asked Plumlee like, yo, why'd you do that? The game's over, man. Like, why'd you do that? And Plumlee said, and Jared McCain quotes, I got another one coming for you. I don't know what Wemby told Plumlee. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You guys want to talk about officiating, bro? It's both sides, man. It's both sides. He said, I got another one coming for you. Shout out McCain, bro. Shout out McCain. Let's talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think it's fair to say that Shai has had a bad series. He's had a bad series. He's had a very bad series. For Shai standards, he's had a bad series. And some guy, before the podcast started, he said in my Purple app chat, and I quote, is it just me or is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's bag just not deep at all? And I said, it's just you, bro. It's just you, bro. Listen, guys, as y'all know, I'm a Pistons fan. Autographed K jersey. I got them autographed here in Charlotte, right? When I watched Cade against Wemby in the 2 games this season, I didn't recognize him. I didn't recognize Cade. I didn't. Because I believe Cade, in those 2 games that we played against the Spurs this season, I'm going to go so far as to say I think he shot like 9 for 40. 9 for 40. I'm somebody's going to have to fact check me on that. But I believe Cade Cunningham shot 9 for 40 against Victor Wembanyama. And the issue with Cade is he doesn't get free throws. So Cade just has a bad game. If Cade goes, I'll just say 4 for 20, he's going to have a horrible game because he's not getting free throws. Cade has the worst whistle and an Eddie superstar in the entire NBA. Hopefully getting an all-NBA first team helps him. Now for Shai, the reason why I denied that horrible take that was said before today's podcast started, Shai not only has the deepest bag in the NBA right now, he has arguably one of the deepest bags for a point guard in NBA history. And I won't be told otherwise. One of the deepest bags in point guard history in the NBA. And the reason why Shai, I said he's had a bad series, he's not shooting efficiently whatsoever, which Shai always does. Bro, he even got more efficient this year than he was last year. After a historic season, he got more efficient this year. So I'm going to go ahead and talk on this point. The Purple App chat, shout out Tippy. He said, Cade, I think, was 15 for 52 in the 2 Spurs games. And Cade, I'm curious as to how many free throws he had in those 2 games. Let's talk about Shai. First of all, last night, he hit 2 threes. That's a lot for Shai lately. He had 32 points in 37 minutes, 9 assists, got everybody involved last night, 2 rebounds, 1 block, 2 steals. He had 6 turnovers, and he shot 7 for 19 from the field. And the most important stat of them all is he went 16 for 17 from the free throw line. 16 for 17. TikTok, of course, they're all spamming 17 free throws, 17 free throws. Your boy Wemby also had 12, okay? Oh, but he was actually getting fouled. But he was actually getting... They're ethical foul calls. Shut the fuck. I'm not getting in this conversation, bro. They both got hacked. They are both getting hacked all series long. You can't call them all. They're both getting hacked. They are both getting hacked all series long. They are. TikTok, you can keep arguing with the fucking walls, bro. I want to give a major shout out, obviously, to Alex Caruso. I'll talk about him in a second. But I want to give a major shout out to Kenrich Williams. In case you guys don't know, in that blowout, right? In that blowout for game 4, Kenrich Williams came in during garbage time. And I believe he knocked down 2 threes. Garbage time. I'm talking the game was over. It didn't matter, right? It didn't matter. The game was over. But Kenrich Williams came into the game in garbage time and knocked down 2 threes. And then all of a sudden, actually, you know what? I think that was game 3 or some shit. Regardless, that garbage time that he got is why he's seeing minutes now in this series, and why Aaron Wiggins isn't playing, and why Isaiah Joe isn't playing. This is quite literally the reason why Kenrich Williams is getting minutes. So just goes to show for any player in the NBA, that is what happens. That's what happens. If you have garbage minutes, you make the most of it. And look, Mark Dagnall's rewarded him for it. Tippy, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub on the Purple app, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Can we get some W's in the chat from my man Tippy? Thanks so much, bro. Be sure to join the Discord as well. That really means a lot. Enjoy your ad-free viewing experience for the next 30 days. Again, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's show, be sure to join the Purple app stream. It's a much better viewing experience. And you know what, Mike, shout out to you in the TikTok. I hope I see Mike and all you other beautiful individuals that are hanging out on the TikTok come to the Purple app stream, because what he just said is what I've been preaching all season long. It's all because of the Twitter propaganda and people who don't watch the game lie to get likes. And that's all this is. That's all this is. These guys don't watch the games. These guys, it's their first time watching the playoffs right now, and they're at a bar or they're at their buddy's house and they're half watching the game, playing Clash Royale, playing Call of Duty, playing 2K. This is just, these are the kinds of opinions that are going viral on Twitter, and the bots, of course, and the bots. Taste, come to the Purple app stream. What the fuck are you doing over there? I'm about to end the TikTok just so you come here. Yeah. Now the biggest shout out of all is Alex Caruso, man. Alex Caruso, bro, I was not expecting this. I said it's Twitch, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. That's where my community hangs out. Alex Caruso, I had Chet Holmgren as my X Factor. I did. Because I believe Chet Holmgren was going to be the deciding factor on whether or not they win or lose these games, right? That's what it was going to be, my deciding factor for me. The issue is I did not believe that they were going to just leave Alex Caruso open all series long, and that's what they've continued to do. And Alex Caruso he's making the most out of it. He's making the most out of it, and he's hooping, bro. He's hooping. I've never seen him shoot so efficiently from the field before. He's hooping. Not only is he bringing it defensively, he's bringing it offensively. And what I said the Thunder need, because they are without AJ Mitchell and J-Dub, two of they're literally number 2 and number 3 shot creators and ball handlers on this team. They're missing them. I said, and I quote yesterday, the Thunder need everybody to put the ball on the floor. They need them to put the ball on the floor. They absolutely need it. Shea cannot be the only guy bringing the ball down the court. Look at Cade Cunningham being the only one. You need other ball handlers. And last night, I saw Jared McCain ball handling. I saw Alex Caruso putting the ball on the floor. I saw Kaysen Wallace putting the ball on the floor. Hell, I saw Lou Dort put the ball on the floor even more. They need that. When you are missing your number 2 and number 3 ball handlers and shot creators, you need other guys to put the ball on the floor and hope to not turn it over. That's it. Now, I would like to point out, I noticed San Antonio was doing something different in this game defensively. My buddy Quick, who's been my longest tenured Spurs fan, was in the watch party with us last night in the Discord server, right? Caruso is shooting 47.7% from 3 in the playoffs. That's insane. My Spurs fan Quick said something in the watch party last night to me. He said, I don't know why the Spurs are double teaming Shea again. I don't know why they're doing that. It didn't work in the first 2 games or 3 games, whatever it was. And it made me curious. So I went ahead and watched this game back, right? I watched this game back. They didn't double Shea a single time that looked similar to the first couple games in this series. It was something very different. It was very different. They were trapping Shea at the top of the elbow. Like on both elbows, they were trapping him. Which means by trapping at the mid-range, you need to make up for less space at the open three-point shooter. Before, they were blitzing Shea. So Shea just needs to make an outlet pass and hope that the other guy makes it. This was very different, and it was sort of like a combination of the two, the blitz and the one-on-one. They were allowing Shea to go one-on-one, but Shea was getting the foul calls. Because I don't know if I need to tell you guys this, you can't guard Shea one-on-one. You can't. The only reason why it's working for the Spurs is because you have an 8-foot tall skyscraper in the paint. Like I said, I've seen Wemby make every superstar in the NBA look mediocre. I've seen it all happen this year. I've seen him make Ant look horrible. I've seen him make Shea look horrible. I've seen him make Cade look horrible. Just having that alien standing beneath the hoop, they're not guarding him one-on-one. Castle's there. Castle's grabbing his arms. And whether they call it or not, they got Wemby behind them. That's why I'm glad Stephon Castle didn't get awarded with all defensive teams, because he's boosted up by having Wemby behind him. Go look at the games of Castle's defensive ratings when Wemby's not playing. He is that crucial of a defensive prowess. That's really hard to beat, man. It's really hard to beat. Do I have any other crazy takes on this series? Do I have any like random facts from last night? I liked how the Spurs, the Thunder crowd had people just dressed up in nuns. That was funny. TikTok is saying that they've never heard somebody so deluded. Okay, Brandon, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your comments. Bye, TikTok. We are still live on the Twitch stream. Taste and everybody else that enjoyed the stream, we are still live on Twitch. It's Jay-Z Uncut. Sebastian Marcus, guys, leave the TikTok. Come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. I'm ending the TikTok. We are still live on Twitch. Okay? I'd love to see you guys come through. All right? Link in my bio. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The stream is still going on over here. Okay, I'm just baiting them to come here, by the way. Stun, thank you for the 24-month resub. I love you and I appreciate you. Fury, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. They just got to stop daring them. They just got to stop daring them to take these threes. They do. And you know what? I would go so far as to say, had they not done that, I think this game would have been a lot closer. I do. The Thunder really ran away with this one, and open three after open three after open three. That's good. And then you're just bricking. They shot 12 for 41 from three, bro. 12 for 41 from three. And people are trying to tell me the reason that they lost is because of the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason that they're telling me that they lost. And it makes no sense. Fury, I appreciate you for coming through to the Twitch stream, brother. Be sure to join the Discord as well, fam. Join the Discord server. Yeah, I don't think I have that many random takes from last night's game. I think it was a pretty self-explanatory game. Had you watched this one, I think you could tell who was going to win and who was going to lose. It was the team that shot better, defended better, and controlled the ball. Like, that's who won this basketball game. Is this series over? By no means am I telling you that it's over. By no means am I telling you that the series is over. No, it's not. Do I think the Thunder can end it tomorrow? I think they can. I think they can. I think for their sake, they should pray that they end it. Main reason being is, the Knicks are going to have 8 days off, right? If this goes to 7, you're only going to have 3 days off. And you need AJ Mitchell and J-Dub to just not have to worry about needing to play basketball so that they can, get a little bit more rest to come back. If I were a Thunder player, I would be sweating hard as hell to try to finish this in San Antonio. Now, it will be in San Antonio. It's going to be very, very difficult. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Game 7, it's a toss-up. It's not really like a home court game. It's a toss-up, man. It is. It is. And that's the thing. In Game 4, the Thunder had their worst shooting game of the season. They did. This wasn't even close to the Spurs' worst shooting game of the season. They can usually rely on the 7'5" skyscraper to get buckets down low. And then the three-point shot just doesn't fall. But at least they have Wemby balling. This was not by any means even close to their worst game of the season. The Thunder literally saved their worst game of the season for Game 4 of the playoffs, of the conference finals. Jigs and Vez, thank you guys so much for the follows. I appreciate y'all very much. Be sure to join the Discord. Chat, can we get an exclamation point Discord in here? Yeah, Dylan Harper hasn't looked the same since he got hurt. And, speaking on that note, when Fox came back as well, he has less opportunity. So as a rookie, you feel the need to stress. I'm not going to say Dylan Harper's overrated. I think Dylan Harper's going to be arguably one of the best guards in the league here in a couple of years. But he's a rookie. He's 20 years old. And he just got his starting spot taken away just as he fully earned it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've preached these numbers enough. I don't need to go back in circles. I appreciate all the comments as always. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our final topic of today's show. And that is the coach of the year. In case you guys don't know, coach of the year was just given out yesterday. I don't know why they took so long, but Joe Mazzulla has won coach of the year for his great work he did with the Boston Celtics in their gap year. I'm not going to talk about the playoffs. Obviously, we know how that went. This is a regular season award. Him and his Celtics won 56 games this year. They obviously overachieved. They did it all without Tatum until he came back. And yeah, if you ask me, do I think Joe Mazzulla deserves it? No, I don't think he deserves it. I think they deserved executive of the year, Brad Stevens, which they got. But to get both awards, I feel like this is just feeding more bullshit into what franchise the NBA wants to push out more. I think this is bullshit. I think this is bullshit. I mean, Joe Mazzulla came out and literally said, it's a stupid award. I don't care about it. I don't like it. And he goes out and wins it. Now, if you ask me, it's JB Bickerstaff or it's Mitch Johnson. It is. And if you want my honest opinion, coach of the year has turned into surprise of the year. Surprise of the year. And I think the most surprising team was the Pistons. The Pistons became the first ever team to triple their win total across one season. They won 14 games 2 years ago. And then they won 44 last year. Their over-under line this season was 45. They went out and won 60. I think JB Bickerstaff should have won this one. Doesn't make any sense to me that they get no talk. So just because the Celtics overachieved by what, 10 wins that they had their over under at, but the Pistons overachieved by 15 and made 60 wins last season. Listen, I think JB Bickerstaff or Mitch Johnson should have won this. I don't think they deserved both the executive of the year and coach of the year. I don't. But shout out Joe Mazzulla. Maybe he's going to get fired as this year progresses because, as y'all know, the coach of the year does have some weird curses involved. So it should be interesting. It should be interesting. I mean, bro, the Pistons went from 44 wins to 60. The Spurs won 62 games. I genuinely believe one of their head coaches should have won. So that's just me. That's just me. Mitch Johnson is the coach for the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, guys, for my stud of the night, this is honestly the last segment that I have. There's really not a whole lot we can. I mean, bro, I just talked about one game for 45 minutes, so shout out me. For stud of the night, sponsored by nobody. Nobody is sponsored stud of the night, unfortunately. I am rolling with Alex Caruso. I just have to. I have to. Listen, I could have picked Shea, but Shea's doing what he's supposed to do. In fact, he's not even shooting well from the field, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. I got to give it to AC. Alex Caruso in 28 minutes. He does it again. 22 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, 5 for 10 from the field, and 4 for 8 from 3. And he even went 8 for 8 from the free throw line. It was either him or Isaiah Hartenstein. I don't feel like this was Isaiah Hartenstein's best game. I feel like he was helped by Wembanyama just staying by the 3-point line. Alex Caruso is just out there doing everything, guarding everybody, boxing out everyone, trying to get every steal known to man, strip every player on the court. And then through all of that, he's still knocking down his wide open threes. They're daring him and he's making them, plain and simple. So shout out to Alex Caruso. He's been incredible. He's been incredible. If the Thunder win this series, he's not going to win Western Conference Finals MVP. But if I had a vote, I'd vote for him. I would. He's been 18 for 31 from 3 this series. That is unbelievable. Thank you for that statistic, Meister. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, they just kept Wemby out of the paint and kept him in check. Fouled him when he had an easy shot, and that was really it. That was really it. And you know, that's the difference in playoff series. It's how many players can you get to step up. The Thunder had Jared McCain step up. The Thunder had Isaiah Hartenstein step up. Even Chet step up, really. 16 points and 11 rebounds. You had Alex Caruso step up, and you had Kenrich Williams step up. Those 12 minutes are very crucial for him. He was a +7. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for today's show. All right. We are still live on Twitch, obviously, so nobody go anywhere just yet. Be sure to join the Discord server. Can we get an exclamation point Discord in the Twitch chat? Be sure to join the Discord. There is no game tonight, so there will be no watch party tonight. But I do appreciate everybody for coming through to the Twitch, subscribing, following, doing all of that jazz. And shout out to everybody that listens every day on Spotify and Apple. If you guys want any of those links to those podcasts or YouTube, be sure to do exclamation point podcast in the Twitch chat if you guys want to watch or listen after the fact. But for those of you who tune in live every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, I do appreciate you all so very much. So, guys, it should be interesting going into the next game. I do not think that we are going to be doing a podcast tomorrow because there's no game. But be on the lookout, and if you guys want to be updated, be sure to join the Discord because that's where I post all my announcements. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got nothing left to say except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for listening / watching. I appreciate you guys very much, and I'll catch you guys probably Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, probably. But like I said, holler at me in the Discord, and you'll be the first one to know. Love y'all. Have a blessed rest of your day.